So this is going to be your mean. This is going to be your standard deviation. So when the problem says this is a standard normal distribution, your mean is 0, your standard deviation is 1. And we've already talked about, just now, that what is the area under the curve equal? 100%. They call it 1 or 100% after you woo-woo. So this is saying if it's a standard, it's going to be bell-shaped. The mean is going to be 0, and the standard deviation is going to be 1. So in order to be standard, it has to be bell-shaped with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. All right. Now, we're going to do these in the calculator. It says use the table, y'all. We're going to use the calculator. Calculator. Ugh. And they'll have these long behind tables on there, but we're going to use the calculator. We want to know the probability. We want to know the area under the curve. That's what we're trying to find. I do not know the area under the curve. So it says, find the probability if the area is less than this z-score. And remember, your z-score is your jumps from your mean. So if this is my mean, we are 0.44, or about half a jump. Calculator's going to do everything for you. Oh. Let me pull this over. You're going to do second vars. Second vars. Second, here's your vars button. Second vars. You're going to choose normal CDF. Second vars, normal CDF. Now, mine comes up like this. Y'all, oh crap, let me grab these as a whole. Haley and Naya, yours is probably going to come up differently, and I'm going to show you how to do it the same way. Yours may come up where it says normal CDF there. Okay? You're going to enter it exactly the same way, and I actually have it written right here. It's going to be left, right, mean, standard deviation. When I look at this, your left shading is where I stop shading on my left. And do you see that this goes forever? So your left shading, don't look at what I have right there. Your left shading is going to be negative 999. So if it's going to infinity, we use 999. But because it's going towards the negative direction, we use negative 999. So your left is going to be negative 999. That's your left. Now, your right. Where did I stop shading on my right? 0.44. On my right, I stopped at 0.44. Now, because this is a normal standard deviation, a normal curve, what did I tell you that the mean is always going to be? 0. And what did I tell you that the standard deviation is always going to be? 1. So we are going to do negative 999 to 0.44 with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. And then we're going to hit calculate. And yet when I hit calculate, let me get rid of this so you don't have all that other stuff there. When I hit calculate, mine ends up looking like y'all's. So this is telling me, this is my answer, and if they wanted it as a percent, what would my percent be? Whoop, whoop. 67% of the curve is shaded. So we just figured out that this yellow part is 67% if the whole thing is 100. Let's look at another one.
How did you
I got it here.
Okay. When you do this, you do left, right, mean, and standard deviation. So the left, it kind of goes on forever. So if it goes on forever in this direction, we can't write forever. So we use negative 999. If it goes forever in this way, what do you think we would use? Positive 999. So we just kind of pick a big number, and negative 999 is the big number we happen to pick. So for this one, I'm going to do normal CDF. I'm going to do the left, the right, the mean, and the standard deviation. So what do you think my left is going to be? Where did I start shading on the left? Negative 1.04. Where did I stop shading on the right?
It goes on, so it's going to be
So positive 999 because it went forever to the right. What is my mean? 0. And what is my standard deviation? 1. So this is my left, 999 is my right, my mean is 0, and my standard deviation is 1. So I'm going to do second bars, go down to normal CDF. It's going to be negative 1.04, 999, 0, 1. So what percent of that graph is shaded? 85%. Now, if they tell you, sometimes they'll say, give it to me as a decimal to 4 places. That would be the answer if they wanted it to a decimal to 4 places. Cool? Now, here's another one. They want to know what area is shaded. So they want to know this piece. So we're doing left, right, mean, standard deviation, normal CDF. So what would my left be? Who? Negative 0.84. I know you can't see that boo. What would my right be? 1.28. What would my mean be? 0. And my standard deviation? 1. So we would do the normal CDF. This would be my left. This would be my right. My mean is 0. My standard deviation is 1. I'm lazy. I'm going to do second enter. Back that thing up. And just type over it. 0.84, comma, 1.28, comma, 0, comma, 1. So that would be my answer. Cool? These are the same answers you're going to get on the table. The table is just a little more confusing to use. Yes?
Would you round that up to 70%?
Yeah, if they told you to round it to, if they said, and my math lab usually says round to 4 places, it would be 0.6993. Good question. Cool? All right. Now, this one is going, let me see what this one's doing. This one's going backwards. This one, they told you that this is that. We're trying to find that. Look at the difference between this and the last problem. The last problem, we knew the z, we didn't know the percentage under the curve. Now, we know the percentage under the curve, we don't know the z. So we're going backwards. See the difference? So, here's what we do for this one. You're right, it says find z. We're going to do the inverse norm. And let's do area, mean, standard deviation. So we're inverse means you're going backwards. If you're inverting your body, you're turning it upside down. Inverse means backwards. So for this one, I'm going to do second bars again. Inverse norm means I'm doing it backwards. I had the answer, but I'm working it backwards to find part of the problem. So I'm going to do inverse norm. Now, what is the area under the curve? 0.8907. You with me? That is the area under the curve. Do you agree my mean is 0 and my standard deviation is 1? Now, my tail. These are what we call tails. They tail off forever. Is your tail going to the left? Is your tail going to the right? Or is it in the center? Is your shading of your tail? So when I shade, am I shading a tail this way? Or am I shading a tail this way? Or am I just keeping my shading in the middle? To the left, to the left. Okay? So I'm going to keep my tail to the left.
It don't give me an option. It doesn't give me.
Okay, if it doesn't give you the option, let me show you what to do. So yours would not have that left. It would just say 0.890701. You good?
Well, I expect the same answer.
Okay, but I'm going to show you on the next problem, you're not going to get the same answer.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you what to do to show you. So like, let's do this next one. If I did the normal CDF, it's going to be area, mean, standard deviation. So what would my area be?
The borderline.
0.9265. What would my mean be? And what would my standard deviation be? 1. So we go in and we do the normal CDF. Okay? So in here, come over. I am working backwards because I know the area. So I'm doing the inverse. This will be the last one we do. It's going to be, okay, and pretend yours doesn't have what mine has. So I'm just going to leave that blank like it is. Come on. Now, did y'all get that answer? Let me move this down.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that answer. That answer is wrong. Tell me why that answer is wrong.
Because it says that it's tail is going to the left, but it's going to the right.
Okay, tell me about this Z. What kind of number should it be? This Z should be a negative because Z is to the left of the mean, right? This Z is to the right of the mean, so it should be a positive. If your Z is to the left, you just make that answer negative. So when you're doing this one, you just have to pay attention to where your Z is. The number part is right. You just have to pay attention to, is it to the left? It needs to be negative. If it's to the right, it needs to be positive. So this one needs to be negative 1.45 because it's to the left of the mean. Does that make sense? Y'all, we have 3.5 pages of notes left. That's it.
Like before the test?
Yeah. Yeah. So we will be finishing up on Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Like this is a short test, like a baby test. So I will send y'all out an email about when homework is due and when tests are due. Okay? I know. And we're probably going to start new material on Thursday. Don't throw up on me. I know. Go out there and get to work on that homework. If you have your schedule, let me know. Speaking volumes. All right, you're good. Oh, let me lock them.